Hey guys! Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy V! Last time, I cliffhanged the crap out of you guys. This time, doesn't matter, as soon as you step into this battle with Exdeath, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna have 0 HP for pretty much the whole time. But being a blue mage gives you some options like level 3 flare. He is level 63, so does I think the most amount of damage, most effective amount of damage you can deal right now. You need to deal some damage early on in the fight, considering the fact that you're dead though. As you may suspect, this is a storyline battle. Either that or Gullif is invincible now. One of the two. But yeah, as you can see, he deals shit tons of damage. But level 3 flare, probably the best thing we can deal. Moves the battle along as fast as we can possibly move it. Save for one little trick, which I will show off a little bit later. Now, I believe once he starts doing that, I think we only need to just do a normal attack against him to continue the dialogue. Bingo. To the world of death with you! Uh-oh, he's got his own flare. Ah, and his is more powerful than mine. And there's Holy. There's the animation for Holy. Awesome animation. And there's Meteo, the forbidden spell from the previous game. And I think now all we have to do is attack him to advance the dialogue. Why won't you die? Can't die yet. Will defeat you no matter what. Can't be defeated by anger or hatred. Well, what could you be defeated by then? I wonder. Awesome music for this fight. And he dies. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But apparently Exdeath losing conscious has broken the crystal's power over everyone else, and he absorbs the remaining 3. And disappears. Poor Gullif. He must be in real rough shape right now. How's it going there, old guy? What? You've been in our party for 20 hours. You can't be killed off now. Defeat Exdeath. Well, you're not my white mage, but you do have access to that if you become a white mage. Simple statement. Gullif is dead. No ambiguity. No questions about whether he'll revive. He's gone. And I do like how they at least attempt to use spells. There's no, Phoenix Down controversy, as people like to point out in Final Fantasy VII or anything like that, without spoiling anything. But, yeah. Gullif has died. think we just have to wait at this point. Because we can't leave. Yeah, we just have to wait for the music to play out there. But I thought he just died. You just made it very apparent that he died. And she walks through us because, you know, pathing. He is alive. I give you my strength. You aren't alone. You have friends. Kara inherits all of Golliff's abilities and his equipment. Exdeath is trying to destroy all the crystals which he's also absorbed. Go figure. Grandpa told me so. We have to hurry. Let's go to Exdeath's castle. Call the mighty Hiryu to take us away. You don't have to worry about anything Golliff is equipped with. Everything transfers innately over to Kara. And Kara's stat distribution is a little bit different than Golliff's. She, I believe, has the highest agility stat in the game, I think. And no one has a really high vitality stat anymore. Again, the stat differences are negligible anyway. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But it's just interesting to see that some of the stats are a little bit different. Anyway, as you can see, the forest has been burned quite severely, but not entirely. And we have access to the Hiryu once again. Allows us to get back to the submarine, which... Can we get out of here? I think actually they've burned a hole out of here too, so we can fly right out, yeah, with the Hiryu if we need to. And there's a couple other things I would like to do here. Let's check our map real quick, find out where we are. One thing I will be doing off screen, likely in between episodes, is I will be returning in here. Now is a good time to go back and farm the Dragon Fangs that I was talking about farming here in the Hiryu Valley. So now's a good time to go do that. Rest here, get some more free potions, all that kind of good stuff. It's not the only thing we can do. There's a number of other things we can do at this point. But before going any further, I am going to go back to my save state, and I'm going to show you one thing real quick. Okay, we're back. If you want to speed through the Exdeath fight and not have to wait for all of his dialogue, he is level 63, and when you use Deathclaw to cut his level in half, it does round down. And if you do it twice, you're able... Or not Deathclaw, that's the wrong one. I wanted to use Dark Shock. Oops! But yeah, so if you're using Dark Shock there, not Deathclaw, it'll cut his level down in half. And if we do it twice, his level ends up at level 15 because it rounds down instead of rounding up. And that means he's level 15, and instead of waiting through all of those different turns, we can just cast level 5 Doom on him, quote-unquote kill him and end the battle. Nothing changes when you do this, but I just figure I would point it out if you want to make it through this cutscene a little bit faster because you're doing a speed run or something like that, or you just don't want to watch the whole thing. Everything plays out exactly the same, so there's nothing else different about it. But anyway, I'm going to go load up the file that we just had there where we got all the way out and set up Kara. She doesn't come equipped with anything. She's in her normal job class, but she has all of the abilities that Gullif had learned. So I'll just set her up with all of the stuff. You don't lose anything. Anything Gullif's equipped with gets unequipped and put in your inventory. So we didn't lose the gold pin or anything like that. But yeah, I will meet you once I've got all that stuff set up in a moment. Okay, we're back, and I've been inside the city there. We healed up and got ourselves all set up with some different job classes here. Bart's what he is doesn't really matter, but everyone has the image secondary ability. This is particularly for one potential strategy for an upcoming super boss that we're going to try and take on. I have both Lena and Kara now as bards. Not the most powerful class, but everyone's in the back row. As far as equipment goes, they have both Guardian Knife and Elf Cape on, and Bart's has an innate, it's either 33 or 20, I think it's 25% of aid from being a samurai, and he also has the Aegis Shield, which has a hidden 33% chance to avoid magical attacks, which doesn't really matter coming, but it has that. It also makes you immune to being stoned, so that's nice. And Ferris down here has the third Elf Cape, and definitely not the Bone Mail. That's, you don't want that. And that's one of the strategies I'm going to demonstrate. Now, there's two ways into the above dungeon, or well, I guess it's to the side, but the next dungeon. One is over on the right there, one is right here. Before heading in here, make sure you save. This cave is known as, well, we'll find out eventually, but it's not very long. This is pretty much the halfway point. But if you head down here, there's kind of a second hidden part to it. So we head down here, down the stairs, around the corner, and if you run into any enemies along the way, it'll be these guys. You can kill them if you want to. They're susceptible to level 3 flare. That's usually how you want to take them down. Yeah, they don't have a lot of HP, so I wouldn't worry too much about them. Anyway, at this door, make sure you are healed up and you are ready for this, because things could go very wrong very quickly. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Crap. Hello, Gill Turtle, one of the most difficult bosses in the entire game. Everybody needs to get image on first and foremost before doing anything else, because this guy does way more damage than we can deal with. I would also recommend for this fight that you have your cursor set to memory, because pretty much all of my fighters are going to do is use image over and over and over again, because this guy counters pretty much everything you do. Gill Turtle has 32,768 HP. He is undead, but you cannot one-shot him. He's immune to instant death. You can use slow against him if you want to. I don't have that at the moment. He is weak to ice only. He nullifies or absorbs everything else except for healing damage, so there's that. But since he's undead, he is susceptible to Requiem. Now, Requiem doesn't really do the most amount of damage, but basically, this is the strategy. Have a couple of mages there to use that. Turtle Shell is his ability, and he allows him to attack twice. Now, we have the evasion gear to hopefully not have to take too many hits. Now, Kara, unfortunately, that broke off, so I got to reset that up as soon as possible. Then go back to casting Requiem over and over and over again. Now, he can use his Turtle Shell counter to hit the same person twice or attack one person. It really doesn't matter. But yeah, you don't want to be doing any additional attacks because he just is going to counter and hit you more than once. So as few attacks as possible and make it always Requiem. This is one of the safer methods on taking this guy down. Go. Just make sure that the other thing you can do is bring Golem in here as a safety net if you want to. And because he can do that, nope, you may want to. So let's use a high potion to kind of heal you up real quick there. Now, unfortunately, you can't use your image ability on anyone else. And so I'm just going to defend there so that I can get image up as soon as possible, not give him those extra 2 moves in. And basically, that's the entire strategy. And this is one I came up with. I don't think I've seen this one anywhere else. It's probably out there somewhere or variations on it. But I had initially planned this, and that's why I learned image with everyone much earlier in the game when we were fighting the Skull Eaters. Now, we're in float because he can also use an ability called Earthquake, and he will always use that for his final attack. So kind of be aware that he's going to be able to do that. There are a few... image. There are a few other options as far as strategies for this guy, and I will go over what they are as we go through the rest of this area. Get that set back up. But yeah, having memory on for your cursor just means you don't have to maneuver all the time. It's going to make you screw up a little bit here every now and then, but that's to be expected if you're not used to having it on there. Okay. Should be able to get another one off here. Now, you can... Requiem is based off of your level, so the higher your level is, the more damage you can do with that. You can use an ability with the Combine to increase your level by 20, and that will allow you to deal more damage. Unfortunately, I don't have that because I wanted everyone to have image. Now, you can cast the image spell, and I do have that for everybody. I do have that for a white mage spell, but I think I prefer this strategy. Even though it may take a little bit longer, I think this is one of the safest routes to go in if you're trying to take this down. And you can do this at pretty much any level. It's just going to take longer depending on how high or low your level is. Ouch! I didn't realize you were out of that. But yeah, nobody has the bone mail for this fight because that would end poorly. And that's why one of the reasons why we have all those secondary abilities. Don't kill her, Image. It's one of the safest, but there's no 100% safe method against this guy. He's just too powerful, and at the levels that we're at, we're not really intended on beating him at all. So this is a way of coming in here early and taking him down. So let's Requiem. Should be close to finishing him off by now. We're doing about 2,000 or 4,000 per round, assuming both of our characters get things off here. Just guard for the moment. And sing. And eventually he will fall down. Eventually. Just guard through that. Okay. Hopefully Bartz doesn't end up dead because of this. But you will note that I have float on. You want float going through the entire cave because there are other enemies in the cave that can use Earthquake, like the one that we ran into. Fortunately, everyone's going to have to cast it because I want everyone, including Lena, to have it on. Unfortunately, she's so slow that she seems to be getting targeted more often too, so... But eventually we'll take this guy down using this method. Yeah, I came up with, you know, through looking around, yeah, so his final attack is Quake, and then he... What? Oh, she died, so she wasn't in float. Of course, I forgot to recast float. Okay, well, anyway. One of the reasons why we save, we don't want to unbalance everything like that with our levels and our ABP and all that. There is another method for it, and I'm going to set up for that one. And we'll show that one off. Sure, we'll go a little bit longer. I'll show off that one more method, and then we'll call her a day. Okay, I'll set back up. As you can see, everyone's a black mage. You may see where I'm going with this. Everyone's black mage with Ice Rod, Tiara, Gaia Gear or Lumina Robe, and wall rings. Except for Kara. Kara is, as the Guardian Knife, she's a summoner with blue magic as her secondary ability. Everyone is healed up and ready to go. Now, the way that the Gill Turtle mechanic works in the Gill Turtle Cave is after you get to that door, every step you take, you have a random chance of running into another Gill Turtle. You get a little more money, and then you get screwed, or at least I do, and I end up getting hit way too often. All right, first things first. Don't kill me. Image. Summon Golem. Golem will absorb the damage from his physical attacks, and so we're going to use Golem for that purpose. And then Dimension Magic, basically is just there to cast Reset. If I didn't have the wall rings already on me, if I had another summon later in the game that could cast Reflect on everyone, I'd cast Haste 2 first and then do that. The other thing you can do is he is susceptible to Slow, so you might want to be able to hit him with Slow if it decides to work, but of course it never wants to. Alright, and once you've got that set up and Golem is set up, Ice 3, bounce it off of everyone, make sure everyone's got, or the casters have the Ice Rod on, will increase the damage quite a bit. And he will use Turtle Shell, and he'll hit a few more times. Pretty much every round with Kara, you'll want to reset up Golem, even if it was still active from before. And cast another Ice 3. You may want to slow down your castings at time because the your Golem won't be able to keep up, and basically have your other two makeshift mages cast Image on themselves whenever they need to. Blue magic is there simply so that I can cast, say, White Wind if it ever comes down to it, but it probably won't. This is a much faster method. As you can tell, you're doing a lot more damage. Take off his 32,000 HP a lot faster this way. Make sure everyone's still in float. You'll want that. I think he's done enough damage to my Golem shield that I should just cast Image at this point. Make sure I get that reestablished. Okay. There is one additional method which comes with using either Image or the Guard ability learned from the Knight on some of your characters, and then make sure you have Combine on someone to use an ability that I've talked about but haven't used yet, and that's called Dragon Power. And what Dragon Power does, it will raise your level by 20. And so that'll make things like Requiem deal more damage. It'll also increase your base stats, allowing or some of your stats. Ouch! Get Golem back up there. Yeah, it's a little more risky with that strategy, and with this one, you'll have like a white mage to cast that Image on your party members too, and stuff like that. It's a strategy that works, and it's consistent, and it's effective. I like this one. It's a little bit faster, and it's a little bit easier to get at. The only downside is now you're leveling up black mages on characters who don't necessarily need them. Now, if you keep going through the rest of this area, you'll end up getting, I think, up to 64,000 gil at the very end, or 32,000 or something like that. Anyway, it's a lot of money. So I'm going to continue going through here off screen. There's no need me showing any more of the battles off. But pretty much all of his attacks, his physical attacks and his Turtle Shell, they can inflict status effects as well. That's why I'm hit with Poison and Darkness there. So just so you're kind of aware and stuff like that about what he's capable of doing. He's a very difficult boss to take down, and one of the most difficult in the game probably. You can fight him later at a different time. One of the downsides to doing it this way is you're going to end up running out of MP a lot faster than if you're, say, using Requiem. In order to do the combination you need in order to use Dragon Power with Combine, in order to boost only one person using, say, Requiem, use 2 of these Dragon Powers, which is a combination of a Potion and a Dragon Fang per battle. You use 2 of them on one character, ups their level by 20 each time, so 40 total. They'll do like 5,000-ish damage with a Requiem. So you have one person doing Requiem, one person as a white mage using Image on everyone, and the other 2 either using Image or Guard. The Guard ability that we got from the Knight, it'll nullify physical attack damage if we use it, so we could just keep doing that the whole time with Bart's there. So that's another strategy of going about it. I'm not going to demonstrate that one, but that's likely the one I will end up using, if not the first one that I showed you, just because this uses up too much MP. But anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to go over for now. In between episodes, I will be finishing off the Guild Turtle Cave, going through the rest of it, however many I happen to fight, and getting all the money at the end. I only do it once, it's usually enough. You can do it a second time if you really want to, but it gets tedious because each of the battles takes forever. But I'm also going to be farming all the Dragon Fangs that I was talking about as well. And yeah, that's pretty much all the time we have for today. I'll be doing all of that in between the next episode, and I'll see you guys next time.